Hey everybody, welcome to Matt's Models and More. Today we're going to talk about trash in your paint. Who wants that? Nobody does. Let's talk about it. All right, number 4, we're going to start off with a decent paint booth. And the reason why I say decent is that it does not have to be the best. It does not have to be the metal one. It does not have to be, wood. You can get the cheap plastic ones from Amazon. Just a couple of things that I would warn you about is that these are considered portable units. So there's some things, for instance, you're going to want to make sure you tape up and fill any seams that are in here. You've got them on both sides. You've also got them in the back and in the corners. So you definitely want to make sure that those are all taken care of. Also, it goes without saying is having a clean booth, which I just cleaned this one 2 paint jobs ago, and already look at it. All this stuff right here, if my air gun hits this stuff, it will become loose, starts flying in the air, and guess where it lands? Right on your paint job. So it's definitely not something that you want to do. You want to keep your paint booth clean. You can scrape that off with some cleaner, vacuum it up. I'll probably need to do it again here pretty soon. And also the filter that comes with the unit. Now this is a dual fan unit, which I do recommend. The single fans usually aren't strong enough, especially if you get any from Amazon, but the dual fans are stronger, so they'll move it more. So when you're spraying, you don't want a fog of mist hanging around that just introduces more dust and particles onto your paint job. You want something that's going to suck that out of there pretty quickly. So a good dual fan unit, clean booth, goes without saying. That's number 4. Number 3, this is a little bit different here. So number 3 is a good dehydrator. Again, when I say good, doesn't have to be the best. This is an $85 unit from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. I am not an affiliate. This is just doing what I can to help the community. I will set this at 85 degrees, set it for an hour. And what I do is I paint my subject. Right after that first coat, I go ahead and take it out, put it in there immediately, shut the door, and let it flash 5-10 minutes. Does not matter about the temperature. I put it on the lowest setting, which is 85. So it's no different, than spraying it outside. That warm air is actually good to cure the paint as quickly as possible. So you definitely want to do that. On a top note of one of these is on the back, the fan that blows inside, you want to put a filter over that fan as well because it's sucking in air from the backside. So you definitely want to put a filter over the top of that fan so it's not blowing any dust particles inside there as well. That's where you can actually see the fan. And you also want to make sure you get one tall enough to hold that. Now here's a trick. Before I got this, I would actually use a bucket. So I got a big bucket, like a Harbor Freight bucket, made sure the inside was super clean, and I would have it turned upside down on a table beside my paint booth. So I would paint, immediately put it under the bucket, and let it sat there. Because where people mess up is when they're painting their subject, they'll leave it right here, and you can't do that. If you leave it right here, that fan is pulling in all the particles that are out here, pulling it right into your model. So after you're done painting, you're going to want to remove that and not set it to the side. You're going to want to put it somewhere that's going to keep the dust off of it while it's in that drying phase. And some paints dry faster than others, but you don't want to take a chance. So you want to put it in something that's going to keep that dust off of there as much as possible. So that is number 3. All right, number 2, please keep in mind, this is to reduce trash in your paint. This is not to totally eliminate. There is no way to 100% totally eliminate dust particles from getting in your paint. But this is a good 98% way of at least helping you get that perfect paint job and kind of avoid all the buffing and stuff that is not fun to do, but this does help. So we had number 4 was the paint booth. Number 3 was the dehydrator. So we're on number 2, which is an anti-static brush. Tamiya has a really good one. I've used it for years and I still have that. But I got this one. It had amazing reviews on Amazon. There's the number for it. It's a Japanese model. This might even be from Tamiya. I can't even remember. I'll try to post that description, the link for that in the description. But this is my favorite one so far. So anti-static brush, what it does is it literally puts a coating of, I guess, electricity on the actual plastic to repel particles, dust, anything that's floating around, lint, the little things that we can't really see. There was a good video out not too long ago that I watched where the guy actually did a test with this, where he would put a little bit of dust and stuff in a pile and would try to push the brush to it, and the dust pile would actually move. So this, whatever this does, I don't know the science behind it, but it works. So what you do is right before you put your car in the booth, wipe it down real good, then paint it, because it will eliminate the dust from landing on your car as well. So if you do all of these things, you'll be amazed what happens. And you're also going to be amazed with what number 1 is. So let's check. All right, my number 1 way to help reduce trash in your paint, not just your paint, but your clear as well. Both of them. This is going to make some people laugh probably. Good old H2O. Yep, H2O, water.
That's what I call high quality H2O.
I was in the car business for 32 years before I went into the woodworking business. I worked at a body shop for about 6 of those years. And we would spray the booths down with water before spraying anything, whether it was clear or paint. And what that does is the water acts as a trap for dust and particles in the air. So and I'm not talking about soaking your paint booth down. I'm talking about doing a light mist. You want to put some paper towels down, lay them down nice and flat, and not paper towels that you use to clean your hands with. I'm talking about lint-free shop cloth towels, those kind, the blue ones. Put those down in your booth, spray it down, mist it with some water right before you paint. You'll be amazed. And the reason why is, like I said earlier, in that booth, you've got stuff lingering around in there. So between the air gun air pushing, you also have the suction of the dual fans pulling. So you've got stuff flying around all in there, which also goes to your stand. Whatever you're holding your model on, make sure that it's clean as well. Because if you haven't cleaned that in forever, it's got stuff on there that's crummy and loose. And if that air gun pressure hits it, guess where it's going? Right on your model. It's going to fly around in the air. We also used to do this in the body shop, which works here because I've done it before, is to wrap it with aluminum foil. So your stand, that's what I'm talking about. Wrap your stand with a little bit of aluminum foil if it's too hard to clean. I know after years and years of painting, that stuff can get pretty difficult to remove. So a lot of times just putting a sheet of aluminum foil over it helps. Even putting aluminum foil in the paint booth itself helps, right there on the floor if you don't want to use the towels. The only thing I like about the paper towels better than aluminum foil is the aluminum foil does not soak in the water, which becomes that dust trap. But it does at least help, those particles from bouncing off of the ground. So that's another thing. But yeah, that's my number 1 tip. And I don't see a lot of people talking about it. And maybe they do. I mean, YouTube's filled with millions of videos. So I'm sure somebody out there has discussed that. But spraying down your paint booth with a mist of water will greatly reduce particles and dust and trash getting in your paint. So try that out and let me know. Now, I know some of y'all out there have been doing this way, way longer than I have. So you may have more tricks. Remember, this is just my top 4, and it doesn't mean that it's 100%. So Just trust me with these things. If you try these things, you'll be surprised. And if you know some that I didn't mention, please put it in the comments, because I would like to try them out myself, because I'm not perfect. So that's it for this week. I really... Bonus time. So check this out. Not only will the static brush keep the particles and lint and dust off of your car while you're painting it, right before you paint it, it's also perfect for those cars that are sitting on your shelves, because it repels the dust. So now I keep mine in cases. Probably most people keep theirs in cases, but if you don't, if you have them sitting out, use that brush, dust it with that maybe once a month, and you'll be surprised how much dust stays off of that car because of the anti-static properties that are built into that. So bonus tip before we head out. Wanted to put that in there before I forgot. So till next time, keep on rolling.